the way that we see Donald Trump is sort of through the prism of the like central London journalist who went to Oxbridge filter. And I'm not saying that's a bad filter. It's a filter that exists and it has validity in certain contexts. But there's also another filter, which is like the American people, a normal American person. And those two people's ideas about what the right president is not the same. It just isn't. Now, you know, they both think the other's wrong. I'm just saying, I don't, you know, when we hear things in Europe or in Australia about Donald Trump, it's always through the prism of he's uncouth. He doesn't speak in the way that a gentleman's supposed to speak. And it's true, he doesn't. But nor do most Americans, actually. Americans speak in a more direct, in a more, in some ways in a much more warm way, in a much more funny way. You know, the Americans speak in a different way. And Donald Trump is the way he is because he's American. That's a character in their world that doesn't exist in our world. So we find him very strange for that reason. I think a lot of this, John, is just like people's instinctive reaction against him. Because if you look at his policies, there's things that I disagree with him on, as you know, and we'll find out how the Ukraine situation works out. But broadly speaking, I don't look at what he's doing in government now and think, oh my God, this is awful. Quite the contrary. In terms of, you know, what Elon is doing with Doge is incredible. I want 10 Elons in Westminster. And I think anyone in any Western country feels that the bureaucracy is way too bloated. And we got to find out, do we really want to be sending, as in the case of the United States, $3 million to a rapper in Gaza to make anti-Semitic songs? That's a waste of taxpayers' money. Kanye West would have done it for free, right? What I'm saying is, like, slimming down government and getting rid of all this unaccountable crap is a good, whether you're right-wing or a left-wing person, is just a good, right? It's a good thing to do. Now, within that, there will be things that are adversely affected that actually in the balance of things we might want to keep. Well, then some of them will come back over time. But right now is the time for a spring clean. Is that fair? You know, we've had a long time building up all these NGOs and quangos, and this person pays that person to do a study which they then cite on CNN, and then before you know it, it's on Wikipedia, and suddenly the government's paid this person 10 grand to create this opinion in reality, right? While pretending that our money is being best spent, when none of us agree with this opinion. That's not, I don't want that. So yes, I think some of the things that he's doing, I think he's using American power to advance the interests of the American people. That's what he's trying to do. It's quite a nice break from everybody else, don't you think?